Hello, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be discussing content creation. I'm going to be sharing with you how I like to create content in bulk and really batching my time because it just makes life so much easier. And then you're not scrambling every single day, trying to figure out what to post, what you're going to write as your caption. It's just a whole thing. Basically, what I like to do is block out a chunk of time where I can sit down and get myself organized and then know what it is that I'm going to be creating for the month. And then that way I know exactly what I need to shoot or collect any pictures that I might already have that can work with the content that I've created. So really it is just like getting organized from the start and then knowing exactly what you need to execute and then being able to schedule that out, and then you're not stressing about your content on that day-to-day basis. So I actually created a PDF worksheet that I like to go through on that month-to-month basis. This is actually something that I like to use with my clients as well, doing content creation sessions, and it's something I will link down below. If you just wanted to sign up to my email list, then you will receive a free PDF to your inbox and you can use it as well to help you create your own content. Starting things off, I really like to look at the month as a whole. So you can just fill out the month that you're starting to create the content for, and then start to think about, are there any goals that you have for this month? Like what are your social media goals for the month? Maybe if you're an e-commerce brand or an e-commerce business, you're pushing a specific product and you want to generate more sales in that product this month. So if you write that out as one of your goals, you can start crafting out, different content that might align with that goal for the month. Or maybe you just want to generate content around, say, like supporting local, or, maybe there's different outdoor activities you want to promote. Whatever your goal is for the month, I find this just helps to create like that overarching theme that makes it a little bit easier and something to keep in mind when you are creating that month's worth of content. Next, another thing that I like to do just to help get the ball rolling is figure out, whether there's any specific days happening in a month or different events or anything that lines up in your industry as well that you want to speak on or you want to touch on. So I don't know, just like off the top of my head, I know in March it's like International Women's Day, so maybe that's something you want to touch on. Or how they also have like all those fun days like National Donut Day, or all these different days. So if there's something that is going on within that month, then you can sort of think, okay, that's definitely a day that I want to create content around. And then you have that in the back of your mind as well, and okay, that's going to be maybe 1 or 2 posts, and we want to really promote something around one of these days and use all the hashtags and get ourselves out there doing that. So after defining all of that, that's when we go into the content buckets. So I have like 8 content buckets listed out. Now you definitely do not need 8, but I would say that 8 is like the maximum. I mean, you don't want to be sharing everything under the sun. You really want to have things fall nicely underneath your niche. So just for an example, like say your niche is wellness, I don't know, something around the lines of wellness, then you want to create those little buckets underneath wellness, those topics that you are going to be creating content around. So say one of your buckets is mental health or something like that. Another one could be healthy recipes. Then you could have something like, I don't know, yoga for beginners or beginner yoga tips. And then maybe you have something like motivational quotes. So just to keep it simple, we'll do the 4 content buckets. So right then and there you have, those 4 categories that sort of fall under your main niche that you are going to speak on, that you're going to create content around, and that are going to keep things flowing for you throughout the month. And that just makes it easier to start creating the actual content as well. So once you have your buckets set up, then you can decide, okay, how many posts do I want to share this month? And I always like to say about 10 to 15 posts because I feel like that's super manageable. Something every other day or so that you're posting. And then it also gives you that room for if things do sort of spontaneously pop up through the month that you're like, oh, we should post this. It's like you sort of have that wiggle room to post things as they come, but then you have your foundation of those like 10 to 15 posts that are like good to go. They're a little more evergreen or a little more timely with those certain events that were happening that you have pre-planned out. But yeah, it definitely gives you a little bit more of that flexibility for if things sort of come up on that ad hoc basis. So let's say for our wellness niche, we decide that, okay, we're gonna do 15 posts for the month. So now we're gonna break that down into how many posts per each of our little content buckets. Let's break it down to say, okay, so for 3 of them, we're gonna do 4 posts under each category. And then for one of the buckets, we're gonna do 3 posts. And there we have it. That's going to make up our 15 posts. Next, we can move on to actually creating our content. So when you break it down like that, it just seems so much more manageable because, okay, so for the mental health bit, like we only need to come up with 4 posts that are going to fly under mental health. And then same with, the beginner's yoga or the healthy recipes. Okay, we're going to post 4 healthy recipes this month. So let's decide on those 4 healthy recipes. So on the next page is where you're going to write in your little bucket, and then you're going to start listing out each of the posts. I like to use this section sort of as a brain dump, just get everything out that I'm thinking, brainstorming. For the healthy recipes, say you're like, okay, I'm going to make banana muffins. That's going to be one of my posts. So you can write out those banana muffins. You can write, fill in the recipe there. If you have the recipe at the top of your mind, you can start thinking, brainstorming your caption. What is my caption going to be about these banana muffins? What are some hashtags I want to use about these banana muffins? And then you can also jot down, okay, what is the imagery I'm going to use? Maybe you already have the perfect picture of your banana muffins and you can just pull that and you're like, that's one less thing I have to take a picture of. Or if it's something that, okay, no, I don't have a picture of this. This is something I'm going to have to create. You can make a little note of that you need to sit down and take pictures of your banana muffins at some point to be able to post within the next month in your content. So you're going to do that for each of your content buckets. Write out your caption, write out some key hashtags you want to use, and then write out the image or an idea for an image that you're going to be using. And the thing is, you don't always have to go out and shoot new content. If you already have pictures that align with the content, feel free to reuse those. It's so much easier just to repurpose things that you already have. And in this section here, you can also decide, is this something I want as a static post? Is this something I want as a reel? Is this something I want as a carousel? So really outline and get specific in each of these posts what you need to do. And then from there, you can sort of write out a little to-do list of all of the things that you have to capture or get done to be able to schedule out your content. So next is the actual creating portion of it. I mean, this section here, like my little method that I'm sharing with you, is really like the brainstorming, the strategy, the getting everything out on paper, and then it gets into the actual creating. So from, listing out all of those buckets, that's where you're really able to write out your to-do list of all of the content that you have to shoot. You have the exact idea of everything that you're doing. So write out your to-do list, figure out a time, maybe you take an afternoon to shoot all of this content and get it all done in one bulk. And then you can start piecing it together and scheduling it out. And the final step in the process is the scheduling it out. I find it easy to schedule things out. I mean, there's tons of tools that you can use for scheduling your posts out online, so whatever works for you. But then it's kind of like off of your hands. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to be like, oh crap, I haven't posted something today. I need to post something. And you're not scrambling to think about it. You can just have it all posted out, and that I find also makes it easier for when those ad hoc things do come up or something throughout the month is like, oh, this would be the perfect post. That gives you that freedom almost to be able to put your energy into that rather than worrying about the bulk of your content. So I really hope this video was helpful for you. I love just being like super organized with all of my things. And as I said, if you subscribe to my newsletter, my mailing list, you will receive a free version of that PDF. And hopefully it can help you out in creating some of your content. Feel free if you have any questions, let me know. I'm always happy to help. And otherwise, I will catch you in my next video. Bye.